What's up, YouTube?
I was waiting for that intro.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to the Sunday night Reef Talk live stream. Today, we have two very special guests in the shape of Steve, the East Coast Reefer, and Harry, the spiritual Reefer. Fellas, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
All right. So we're going to just be talking about, this is like a year in review, talking about the stuff that's gone on in the last 12 months. I never write stuff down properly. So what I've realized today I should have done is, as we've been going along me and Ryan have been doing the stream all along, I should have made a note of all the stuff, all the equipment that's been brought out and the big news stories, and then I could just refer to them. But I didn't do that. But I did find out a load of products that were released this year. And because Ryan's not here, we can talk about equipment without people falling asleep. And I'm gonna go through all the things that that have been brought out this year at some point later on, and you two can decide on the best release of the year, and then it'll be official. So first off, we'll do some introductions. So we have with us today very esteemed guests. Steve is the largest reefing YouTuber in the east of England.
Yes, called Steve.
Yeah, and Harry is the second largest YouTuber in reefing in the east of England, and also owner of marine-spec.co.uk, I think.
Indeed. Yes.
So what does Marine Spec do, Harry?
Marine Spec was born out of a love for the hobby. And basically I started making things for people, and then they'd ask for adjustments, and then they'd ask for this and that. And then I got into laser engraving as well. I was sign making previously, but that kind of started to interlink, then making frag racks and different bits and pieces. And yeah, eventually I thought I'm going to have to do this under some kind of name. This was before I started doing YouTube. And yeah, it was just, as I say, a love for the hobby that turned into kind of a little business that I run from my home, and has enabled me to recently go self-employed. I do another self-employed job on the side as well. And yeah, it just means I can make a living and put food on the table doing something I love. So yeah, very happy, very grateful for that.
And so the other job that you do, and this gives you an extremely unfair advantage over the rest of us. Harry is literally a professional videographer, right?
Sure am. Yes. Yeah. Primarily filming weddings, but some corporate work here and there as well. But again, another kind of labor of love. Really enjoy it. Certainly with the wedding films. I think when you're able to deliver a product, a service that kind of is quite meaningful to a couple, that's a really nice feeling to hand that over for them to enjoy.
And if you've ever seen any of the videos Harry's done for weddings, they are absolutely phenomenal. Just like the what was the Coral Freaks, the little intro you did of that was just like loads of little snippets for everyone.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing is just so gifted at it.
Oh,
you did I can't remember what it was recently. I watched one of your videos recently it was about a show. It might have been Coral Freaks, it might have been Aqua. But you do it firstly in the professional videographer way, but also it's like you tell the story really well, and you kind of you narrate it in the way that all the like proper YouTubers do, and people like me are just sat there going, "This is a clownfish, and that's a gonny," you know. So I mean, because you're quite creative, right?
I think story and narrative. I think they kind of come first. Obviously, you've got audio visual, which are kind of just as important, but I think when you kind of bring emotion and you find those different kind of arcs and try and put it together in a way that means something to you, it sometimes resonates with other people as well. And I think I'm trying to learn to be a bit more raw, authentic and vulnerable, which are quite difficult things to do. And I think it's taken me a while. Like I'm a year in now. And still I'm a little bit stiff and robotic. But yeah, I think I'm starting to feel it out a little bit more and enjoy it a bit more.
I'm about 7-8 years in and I'm still exactly the same. Very, very
well, that's what people like. Consistency.
Yeah,
consistency is key.
Consistently rubbish. Tell us about your tank as well, because you've got quite a unique scape, and it's quite an artistic scape.
Yeah, so I didn't do the scape myself. It was done by R&R Aquascapes. I don't believe they make scapes anymore. It did mean the tank was a little bit harder to cycle, not using any live rock or anything like that. I did have some cycled media from a previous tank. If I move, it should kind of focus. No, okay. But yeah, I've got the two kind of main islands either side, and then just some lower rocks in the middle. Very much a mixed reef with sticks at the top, and softies and LPS kind of elsewhere.
That looks like a Red Sea Reefer 525.
Correct. Yes, 525 G2. Love it. Really enjoy it. So.
And there's another we'll come on to later. There's another tank just to the tank.
There is, yes.
Yeah, which we'll come on to later. But
yes,
yeah, so another project for next year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Steve, at the other end of the professional scale, we have East Coast Reefer. But you're the premier East of England YouTuber, reefing YouTuber, right? So
I don't know how that happened. I mean, it must be like low competition or something. But I started up. I did a YouTube channel for remote controlled flying stuff years ago. Started off with
like RC planes and stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah, it started off with RC planes. Then people started talking about drones. I made my first drone with a Wii nunchuck and an Arduino, and like soldered it all together, and it was useless. And then I got into racing drones and lots of crashes, and I had a YouTube channel doing all of that. And I quite liked Harishi FPV.
Is it still live?
Not East Coast Droner.
Oh wow!
No. No, some would argue East Coast Droner is what I am now.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I knew you were kind of techie and all that sort of stuff. I think you've told me about some of that before. I didn't realize you had another channel.
Yes, yeah. So I don't fly anymore. People kept on flying drones near airports. I had at the time probably $2,500 worth of drone equipment with like the goggles with the screens in and everything that you wore. And I thought, I'm just going to sell all of this before some lunatic crashes into a plane and it all gets banned anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I sold all of that off, but I quite liked the fact that it would kind of act as a bit of a diary for the hobby as well. And you could go back and look at it. So when I started with keeping a marine tank, I thought, right, I'm going to get the first few hurdles over with. And then once I'm happy that it's going to be something I'm going to keep doing, I'll start a YouTube channel as well. And I'll use that to kind of keep a record of everything that I've done.
Wicked. Well, and so I'll come back onto both of your channels actually in a minute, but tell us about your tank. So yours is an S850 G2, G3?
G3.
Ooh.
G3, yeah. Let me swing that way. Hopefully that should focus on it. Yeah, so it's fairly fresh. I did actually do a water change and a gravel vac today, so it's a little bit mucky, but not too bad. It's just kind of coming out of the ugly stage now. So yeah, it's been running for 3 months, I think now, and I had a Reefer 250 before that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
you've got, because you were talking about at one point you were going to do like a 7 or 8 foot or something ridiculous.
Yeah. So the space from one wall to the other there is 3.4 meters.
Right. Yeah.
Which is
that's 10. That's more than 10 feet.
Yeah. That's more than 10 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do I do it? I've got a window here, and as you can see, the window frame is quite low. So that kind of restricted me a little bit. But no, I think the thing that kind of reined me in mostly was the running cost.
Yeah.
It starts, just water change, it starts to get a little bit crazy.
Yeah. All the equipment as well. Everything's suddenly you need more lights.
Bigger,
exactly. MP60s instead of MP40s and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sensible choice. But still, 6x2x2 is a decent size.
Yes, yeah, and that's how I love it. It's got plenty of space in it. I've got the separate frag tank down the bottom, which this fantastic company's made me a little frag rack 4, customized frag rack. Thanks,
company
Marine
is
Spec.
It's right there, actually. It's right
Marinespec.co.uk.
in front of me.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for a AI blade to stick in there as well.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll have that. So I've got a little frag rack in the top tank at the moment. I don't like it in the display tank, but the corals need light.
Yeah, totally.
Helps.
Yeah, so you're using it as a frag. The sump extension. So in that tank, you and I have got the same tank basically, and in that in the sump, you've got half of the cabinet is taken up by the main sump, and then the other half is half dry sump and half sump extension. And you can either use that you can put filters in it, or you can put refugium, or what most people do, I think, is put a frag tank in there. But I was tempted, because you don't have to install it. I was tempted just to have that, not take the sump extension out and just have dry cabinet space, which would have been awesome. Were you tempted to do that, or did you just think you need
well, because of the size of the room, I knew the end game would be to fit these. You can see, if I go that way, they are just kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, okay.
Looks smart. Really made a difference.
And I could just shove everything in there. I got all the dose. I got 5 litre bottles of the big 3 and trace elements in there as well, and they connect into the dosing heads in the main cabinet. So I've got plenty of dry space now, and I've got so that's a 600 wide, and there's an 800 wide at the other end. So there's plenty of dry cabinet space in there.
There's a YouTuber in America, I've forgotten his name, who did the same thing. He's got an Ultimate Nature Systems tank, and he put kitchen, I think they're IKEA kitchen cabinets either side. Have you seen that?
No, I stole the idea from Foxy, from Steve Fox, that runs Exodus.
Exodus. Yeah.
So he's got full height ones, and he did it to hide his MP40 dry sides. So his go up like completely up the side of the tank, and then he cut big holes where the dry side would go for the MP40s. And
that's going a long way to hide your MP40s.
Yes, I've just put mine on the back wall.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's got a new one coming, I believe. I think
yes.
He's, swapping out something bigger and better, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Very cool.
What's the scoop?
We don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know he's closed down the tank. I think his one was quite shallow, wasn't it? I don't know if he's gone for another shallow one. But yeah, another big tank. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what he does with that, because it had grown through really nicely. He had a lot of coral in there.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. And so you got into the channel because you were doing your drone channel. You had a channel, and then you wanted to kind of document. Well, why did you start a reefing channel? Was it documenting, or was it just you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I've had fish kind of most of my life.
Yeah.
They were all freshwater, kind of freshwater fish, but we all do it. And yeah, I had Malawi cichlids years ago. I was importing wild ones, and I was managing to keep them. So I thought the next step is marine fish. I had a break for 3 or 4 years. Work got really, really busy, and then when that calmed down a little bit, I had a bit more spare time. So I thought, right, I'm gonna go and get a marine tank. And then, yeah, when I got it, I thought I want to document that to keep a diary of it with YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's what started then the YouTube side of it as well.
Okay. Because the one thing I know about you is that when you get a hobby, you go balls deep. You go in hard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It just takes over your life.
Damn right he does.
You like a hobby as well, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, when you go to these corporate events and they make everyone kind of introduce themselves and say a bit about them. I'm in so many of these things, and they're like, oh, yeah, this is my name. I've been with the company this long. You know, I really like to mountain bike, or I'm an avid golfer or something. I normally say, and I've done pretty much every hobby. So if you're thinking about starting one up, come and have a word with me. Because I've tried a lot.
Yeah. And so reefing actually suits that, because if you've got like an addictive personality, there's no end to what you can do in reefing. So.
Yeah. No, just keep buying coral.
Look, a stream goes by where Steve doesn't introduce a new piece of coral.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How about you, Harry? How did you get into it? You said you've been running it for a year. It feels like longer than that.
Yeah, the channel. So it's my first video was October 24, so just over a year. And I don't really know why necessarily. I think I just wanted to kind of be part of it a bit more, because I remember going to my first show and everyone seemed to kind of have a Instagram name or a this or a that. So I suppose I was joining in with the crowd, and I made my first video, and yeah, it was quite enjoyable to then become part of like little communities in like Discord. There's Reefy AF Discord. There's all different places like that, and you suddenly kind of sit back and realize I'm really kind of getting to know these people and making like real genuine connections. So it kind of started not necessarily with much meaning or motive or whatever at all, but I've fallen into this like amazing community spirit, if you like. And I remember like feeling quite isolated with this, and I've got this thing with my partner Anna, and I'll be like working on the tank, and it'll be one of those days where you think, oh, I'll just change that, and then 5 hours later you're still doing whatever you're doing. And I say to Anna, nice fish tank, and she'll say, yeah, nice fish tank, because it's the joke of like, that's the sort of thing that someone will come around, they'll say, oh, that's a nice fish tank, and you think, you have no idea, you have no idea.
Everybody who says that the reefing is to like, it must be so relaxing looking at
yeah.
It bloody isn't.
Yeah. Well, this is like kind of my thing that I say is like, oh yeah, it's really relaxing, but actually I think when you look at the mental health side of it and things like that, it's more so that it's an everlasting project that is always ongoing. So you've always got something to kind of focus on when your mind's perhaps elsewhere and whatever. And of course you do have those moments of sitting back and relaxing and watching the tank, but they're probably not as frequent as you may assume as maybe an outsider or someone, as I say, who comes around and sees the tank as it is. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, I suppose.
And you've started to upload. Your uploads were a little bit sparse.
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Well, I feel like so you've been a bit more consistent lately, because I think you've started to deprioritize the unimportant work that pays your bills.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm not looking too much to like upload at a certain schedule and stuff, and I think I would rather have, you know, someone watch the channel knowing that they're not going to get frequent videos from me, because I think, like yourself, you're really good at posting frequent videos, the product reviews, the spotlights, highlights, things like that. I think those places kind of exist. I think going back to sort of the narrative thing we were talking about earlier and looking at things a different way, and I think I might be a little bit Marmite. I think some people might look at my channel and it is quite different and maybe a bit weird and a bit this. So I'm okay with kind of just continuing in the way I am and to my small little audience and doing what I'm doing and being sparse, if you see what I mean.
Well, it's good to have to do what resonates with you, because if you just try to copy everybody else, if you just try to be BRS, you'll just be a worse version. You know, you can't do that. So if you're doing things that sort of just doing things the way you want to, then it feels a bit more natural, and I don't know what the word is, but a bit more honest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I say that I'll probably end up uploading every week now, but that's what I mean. Like, I'm happy to go with the flow. It is what it is.
You won't believe what fish I bought.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know,
but you've got 5,000 subscribers, or just shy of, which is not bad going in a year.
Yeah. It's far surpassed. I remember, I don't know, it was a few months in, and I hit 1K, and it was so surreal. It was so odd. And I think when that happened, you obviously get a bit of a boost, and you think, I'll give this a go, actually. And you know, that's a nice motivator to kind of carry on, I suppose. But yeah, primarily it's as Steve said, it's a diary as well. And yeah, we'll see what comes of it. But
Challenging
it's
Steve for the
a
number
passion
one
project.
East of England reef tuber.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're always head to head, and he's always that little bit above me. I can't be dealing
What
with
are
that.
you at now, Steve? You're 5.5 or something.
Yeah, just 5,600, I think.
Every time I search, by the way, on YouTube, I go to search East Coast Reefer, and the first thing that comes up is East Coast G.
East Coast G.
Yeah,
What's
like
that?
gangster. I don't know what it is, but I'm assuming he's like badass rapper or something. I don't know.
Every time I upload a video, it
My other
says,
channel.
"Oh, there might be some like words you've used that are bad, high risk words."
Okay.
And I delved into it. It's Reefer, so associate with reefers.
Yeah.
I did a little Christmas post, like, "Oh, you stuck for Christmas present idea? Buy some East Coast Reefer merch." And I wanted Santa holding up a couple of T-shirts with East Coast Reefer on, and I did it in AI, and they did these 2 T-shirts. It said East Coast Reefer and had a massive cannabis leaf on it.
Brilliant.
You sell more of that than fish stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Wider market share, perhaps.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so that's who you guys are then.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about we just review the year. So I've asked you guys a few questions, and we can just talk around that sort of thing. But first off, in time-honored tradition, we're going to do member questions. And I'll refresh, and there's another one. Oh, no, is there another one? Oh, no, that's my reply. Okay, so we have 3 questions. The first one is, do you have a DIY? Do you have a recipe? This is from Nigel Fisher. Do you have a recipe for DIY manganese? I can't afford to keep my gunnies happy. So I posted this in the chat. The first comment of the chat, if you scroll back to that, is a thread from Randy Holmes Farley on Reef to Reef. And you use the chemical you use is called manganese 2 chloride tetrahydrate, which is 28% manganese. But anyway, the best thing to do is if you Google DIY manganese recipe, saltwater aquarium or something like that, it'll take you to that thread. But if not, if you look at the first comment on this, it tells you how to make it, and it's dirt cheap. You get a tub. I think you buy like 100-gram tub of this stuff. It's like a tenner. And it makes thousands of liters. That might be a slight exaggeration, but only just. So check that out, and you can do that. Have I tried?
I've got this on my list of things to do because I've done DIY calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity. So that's what I'm running all the time now. But I've got manganese sulfate monohydrate.
That's the one I bought accidentally, and I've now thrown that away. But if you look at I'm sure, I don't know if I'm sure you can still use it, but the Randy Holmes Farley recipe uses this stuff. Have you actually mixed it up yet?
I haven't mixed it up, but this is like, it's 0.1 grams per 5 liters.
Yeah.
And like you say, 250 grams is a tenner.
Yeah,
it's just bonkers.
But I don't know if that's how, but this is a Randy Holmes Farley recipe. So Randy Holmes Farley, for those of you who don't know, he's on Reef to Reef all the time. He's a reef chemist, I think is how he describes himself. He's an actual scientist, far cleverer than your average hobbyist. So he knows his stuff really well. And he has prepared this recipe of how to make it. It's very easy to follow, but it just makes absolutely tons of the stuff for no money. And it does make me think, because if you buy a bottle of manganese, I buy half a litre, I buy the Reef's Element stuff. It's 50, 55 quid, something. It's a lot of money. And it lasts, I don't know, 2 months. And I think, well, 50 quid for that. And if you follow this recipe, to make that it's incalculably small. It'd be about a penny to make half a litre. So that must be this. I'm sure there's other things they've got to do, like companies have got to do in terms of getting it vetted and going through.
Yeah, of course.
All this sort of stuff.
And I think actually the Elements ones, from what I've heard from other people, is one of the better values for money, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I say the Triton one is a bit more expensive. I used to use Triton, but this is slightly cheaper. Although if you buy the big Triton bottles, I think it's more or less the same. But either way,
okay.
I'm not picking on Reef's.
It's still going to be.
I guess.
I'm using all DIY stuff as well. So
What stuff do you do trace DIY? Or
no. So I'm using Tropic Marine ANK and then doing homemade, same as Steve, alkalinity, magnesium, and calcium.
Same. Only I use Kalkwasser instead of.
Oh yeah, and I'm using Kalkwasser on top of that
you?
as well. Yeah.
Okay. How do you dose Kalkwasser? How do you dose it?
I have got a stirrer. I didn't originally. I might have had it the whole time I've had this tank. I can't remember, but I've always used calc. I often say, although I can't back it up with hard evidence, there's something about calc. There just is. There's something magical about calc. I don't know if it is the pH boost, the ratios, or what it might be. I just really, would always run calc on my tanks.
Do you run calc, Steve?
No, I have done in the past, but I'm just using the calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity at the moment. I'm tempted again at some point, but yeah, not right. Everything's going really well at the moment, so I just don't want to add a curveball to it.
Yeah. Have you made any other trace doses? It sounds like you've started toying around with that, Steve.
So Pelagic Rob he gave me his magic recipe for traces, and he was actually making his own anion and cation mixtures. So it was all in like the Tropic Marine A and Tropic Marine K.
Oh, really?
And that might be why my list has got the other manganese in, because it might play better with one of the other things you mix in with it then.
Okay. Yeah. See, these are the things I don't understand. Like, if you give me a recipe, buy this, add this, fine, I'll follow it. But if anything comes up that I don't understand, it's like, nope, got no idea. So, okay. But so you mix up a whole batches of multiple traces.
Yeah, I don't know, because there's a kind of effort versus reward boundary in here. I like tinkering and I like trying new things, but how much effort am I going to need to put in to actually get the reward from it? With the big three, it's really easy. I bought enough of the dry goods and the equipment to do it, and I've got 2 years, probably a bit more than 2 years worth of dosing chemicals for less than 80 quid. So
you get through a lot of that as well. So I use the same as you, Harry. I use the Tropic Marine A+ and K- bottles.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I dose about, I think, 5 or 6 mil a day, something like that.
Yeah.
It's
I think
not
mine's
that
7
expensive.
from memory. Yeah.
So
it's not if you buy it in the bigger tubs. It works out pretty okay. Yeah.
But yeah, traces, especially manganese, because I dose something like 8 mil of manganese a day. So it gets through quite a lot, and that gets expensive. So I really
is that on top of your Tropic Marine stuff as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's what I'm thinking about doing the manganese for, is in addition to A and K.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There, Nigel, is your recipe for what's it called? Manganese. The other two questions. There's some good questions here. Pickles Reef asks, what one thing made a difference in your reefing journey in the last year? For me, I smuggled the IFD Aquatics AF4 frozen feeder. I presume that was over from America. I top up my auto feeder once a week, up to 10 days, and my tank is fed twice a day with frozen feed. It's a miracle. I do like that. Steve, we'll start with you first. What is the piece of equipment you've bought in the last year that's made the biggest difference?
Now, I'm gonna shelve the one that I was going to say, and I'm actually going to say the thing that I've bought that's made the biggest difference is just sitting in the corner there, and that's a 3D printer, because I've made so much stuff that solve very unique problems in my tank.
Yeah. So we're all the same. I think we're all 3D printers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just use it endlessly, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like all sorts of different things. I printed a dosing nozzle that clips on the side of my sump. That
holds the dosing tube.
Yeah, it holds a dosing tube and got a little nozzle to dispense it. Heater holders, UV brackets, frag cages for Ron for when he's shipping frags to stop them from getting hit by loads of. I did the Abyss flow cannon mount for Pelagic Rob, and then AAC wanted one, then Abyss wanted one to use at the show, and then some German.
How much do you charge him?
I did it. I'll give it to them for free.
Just give me a free flow cannon and we'll call it quits. You know?
Well, I thought I'll get some credit in the bank. One of these days, I might need something from them. So yeah, just little things that I enjoy designing it. So
it's great. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, there's just it's endless stuff. And it's generally pretty easy as well to make stuff.
Yeah.
Same question to you, Harry. Last 12 months.
Yeah, so my one isn't necessarily the piece of equipment itself, but it's what that piece of equipment does. So it's the DOS QD, but in actuality, what I mean is an automatic water change. I still like to do a water change, maybe like once a month manually, because I like to gravel vac.
Yes.
But in a tank like mine, I actually have IBC storage with natural seawater in it outside, just in a little like shed thing. So that is changing 15 litres constantly, daily, with fresh water, fresh seawater. Which, I think if there's ever any impurities or if I've dosed any sort of medication or anything of that nature, that's always going to be flushing through the tank. And so I had an issue fairly recently with like metals in the tank. Of course, I did carbon and manual water changes and stuff. But I think with that also running through 24/7 with fresh water, I think stability wise, because water changes, whilst they're obviously beneficial, I think doing like, say, a 30-40% water change is obviously going to somewhat disrupt levels in the tank. So I think having that continuously running 24/7 has made quite a big difference for me personally in terms of the stability in my system.
Interesting. So if my maths are right, and I know they are, because when I say my maths, I mean I use a calculator. It's 105 litres a week, right?
Yeah.
And a Red Sea 525 XL probably holds 400 litres maybe.
But it is plumbed into the one next to it as well. So that's that's a desktop cube. I think are they 70 litres, maybe? Something like that.
So let's call it 500 litres roughly.
About that, yeah.
20% thereabouts.
A month, yeah.
Yeah, okay, a week. That's good. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I tried to set up an auto water changer with 2 Ecotech Versas, but I just couldn't get them calibrated right. I think it was because I had them next to each other, and the push rate and the pull rate is different. So I think if I'd have had one at the tank and one at the mixing station.
Okay. Yeah. I suppose with the DOS they're together anyway, aren't they? So it's going to be
But that's interesting. So that works, and that just so you don't ever do you ever do water change? So you said
So I do manual ones. It will literally just be 25 litres here and there. As I say, probably average about once a month, and it is literally just I still stir the sand manually. Either I'm in there, flipping a snail over or something, I'll just give it a stir. But every now and then I like to gravel it. I think probably just because I've done it since the beginning in that tank, so I kind of want to carry on the way I started.
I love that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd like auto water changes because they're just a pain in the backside.
Yeah, just make sure you got fail safes. I learned that the hard way.
So have you had issues?
Yeah. So I had a little. Funnily enough, it wasn't actually the auto water change that changes the fresh water for the used tank water. I essentially had the same system running between the two tanks. I wasn't clever enough to drill and plumb them properly, so I thought I'd do an auto water change just between the tanks. I think it does 10 litres a day, something like that, between the two tanks. It also means I don't have to necessarily dose the second tank because it's getting water from the main tank anyway. It's one less tank to test somewhat. But yeah, basically, long story short, either the in or the out, I can't think which one it was, but one of them got blocked with like algae. So the big tank was putting water in the small tank, and the small tank was not putting it back in the big tank. So that inevitably ended up with the small tank overflowing.
Oopsie.
Whoops. So as Steve cleverly pointed out, if I had a level sensor hooked up to the Apex or whatever, that if it goes above this, turn off the DOS. That could have
just don't use one that relies on a server connection.
I was going to say
maybe not.
So fortunately, I say fortunately, you had an issue with Refactory, which doesn't exist anymore. But tell us about your Refactory story.
Yeah, so I had an Aqua 120 mini reef, I think it was called. It only had a single drain. It didn't have an emergency drain as well. And for some reason I could never get it balanced. It was always running too low and gurgling, or running too high and overflowing. I spoke to someone in a shop that pointed out that the Reef factory base pumps can be automated to change speed. So I reached out to Reef factory and asked them if it was true and what I needed. They gave me a shopping list of parts. I went and bought all these parts, fitted them all, and then Reef factory actually helped me set it up so that it would, when the float dropped on the lowest float level sensor, it would speed up the pump by 1% every 2 minutes until the float lifted on the upper one, and then it would slow down 1% every 2 minutes. Unfortunately, the server went down on its way up, so it just carried on increasing by 1% every 2 minutes and dumped, I don't know, probably 40, 50 litres of water on my office floor, which then filled my sump up with 40 litres of RO, which then got pulled in by the return pump and sprayed all over a load of coral, which didn't really like fresh water.
It's so bad that if a server goes down, it basically sticks on. It doesn't work. That's crazy.
Yeah. It could have done with a fallback, or even better, local control.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like your Apex, it's all done. You can access it in the cloud, but it's all done locally.
Right, okay.
So if the internet goes down, it doesn't matter. It will carry on doing it locally.
That's pretty sloppy, though, isn't it? That's a big miss for. Why?
Yes.
Surely someone would have thought about that. But
yeah, well, I spoke to someone that had a Reef factory dosing head, and it basically emptied a whole bottle of Red Sea calcium into their tank and killed off almost everything in the tank.
Because the server went offline.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was dosing when the server went offline, so it just carried on dosing.
That's so stupid. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Oh dear, very sloppy. Yeah, they did have a few issues with the servers. People were complaining about them a lot towards the end in particular. Oh, well, for the last year or so, I think. But anyway, they're not around anymore. So
yeah.
Okay. And so all right, so that was the one thing that's made a difference to Reefing in your last year. My thing for that was same as you actually, Pickles Reef, was an auto feeder. Anyway, I went for the cheapo Eheim dual auto feeder.
Classic.
And it just sits above, obviously 3D printed a bracket to hold it. It sits above the tank and doses pellets. So I put meat pellets, Vitalis, can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, nice.
And then on the other one, I've got veggie pellets, what they called, Hikari seaweed pellets.
All right.
And that means I can feed my veggie fish, like my tang and my rabbit fish.
Oh, you've got them in two separate feeders?
Yeah, there's two little hoppers.
Yeah,
and
nice.
So now I don't have to put nori in every day, because I get lazy with nori. I know it's bad, I know it's easy, but I get lazy with it. So if you can drop pellets in, it makes a huge difference. And I was looking back at photos for this stream over the last year, and some of my fish have got absolutely massive in that time. I was complaining about my Australian stripey growing recently, but I look back at my rabbit fish in particular is enormous compared to how he was a year ago. And that's the great thing about YouTube. When you watch back old videos, you see the differences, don't you? But yeah, the Eheim dual feeder, brilliant, really simple. And it's like 70 quid or something. It's a bit noisy, but apart from that, it's all good.
As noisy as the Neptune one?
Yeah, that's good to say.
I've not had that. Is that bad?
Just like a small earthquake in your kitchen.
They're quite expensive as well, I think.
They are, yeah. The only reason I got it is because that's where are we up there?
Yeah.
It's literally just because I was already in the Apex ecosystem. So I thought I'll only kick myself if I get one that's not Apex. I thought I'll wait and I'll save and I'll get the Apex one, even though I don't want to pay that money.
To be fair, go on, Steve.
You know what we need to invent? We need to invent like the nano reef mat, the really small one. We need to invent one of them that dispenses nori.
Oh my goodness!
And
That's
just
a great
indexes
idea.
it around.
Yes.
Set up with
patent pending.
Like a touch sensitive one, so the fish can touch it and make it dispense.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
To be fair, the Eheim one is really noisy. When I say it's a bit noisy, it's really noisy. I wouldn't be surprised if it's as loud as the Neptune one, which is weird. The Eheim single auto feeder is almost completely silent. All you can hear is the pellets rattling around. But yeah, but it's brilliant.
It's
It's just Eheim stuff just works, doesn't it? They're not a sophisticated, fancy company.
Yeah.
It's just simple and it works. But and the other Reef Doc member question was from Hamish Walsh, who says, "What's your favorite?" And this is a great thing about so. I love Ryan. Don't leave me, please. Don't leave me, please. Don't leave me. But when he's not here, we can talk about equipment. It doesn't mean it's the whole podcast, but anyway. From Hamish Walsh, he says, "What's your favorite piece of equipment that isn't commonly used, like an oddball piece of equipment?" I love that question. Harry, we're going to come to you first.
Oh, it's a difficult one. I don't have a good answer. I think the best answer I could think of was my calc stirrer, just because I don't think they're very common anymore. I think they used to be more common.
Which one have you got?
It's the Deltec. Again, I wasn't happy to pay that, but I didn't have an option back then. It was the only one. And it does a good job. It's again, you pay that money. I think you were saying about their skimmer recently on a stream. That they're so expensive, but they don't feel it. Much like the Trident body, it's all just a bit clunky for what you pay. But it works really well.
Yeah.
So it's a good bit of equipment. I would never really worry about it going wrong or anything like that. I'm happy to leave it be and do its thing, really. And it does the job, and it means that I don't have to faff around mixing up calc and it again. It automates it for me. I think I'm probably quite a lazy reefer in reality, hence the towards changing stuff.
Most people anyway, are just basically lazy. So I think we can all admit that. And if you admit that and just say, you know what, I am lazy, I need a computer to do a robot to do stuff for me, you'll be all right. But okay. Steve, oddball equipment.
Yeah, I think for me, it is the 3D printer, because you can make so many other random little quirky things that, in one of my old tanks, I had a baffle, and I wanted to raise the water level to bring it higher up in my skimmer. So I just 3D printed a little bit of baffle that I siliconed on top of the other one to lift it up a little bit. Or I 3D printed a little stand for the skimmer to sit on to lift the skimmer up when I wanted it the other way around. So it's just being able to just have that little need, 20 minutes, half an hour, or even an hour designing something, hit print. Yeah, it might take 12 hours, but just the fact that you can just leave it running and that's it. Yes, brilliant.
And you just couldn't do it without that. The shims, brackets, and wedges to make stuff bigger, all that sort of stuff, I use all the time for everything. They're just so useful. So I'm with you there. Was that the only thing, or was there anything else?
That was the other thing, because it leads to so many different things for me.
Yeah. Give me an example of you've given the you have done already. Okay, fine. So actually I was going to list off some 3D printing stuff, because it's the same. I had the same idea. There's just so many things that are so good. But the thing I went for was an acclimation box. So I bought it's from Amazon. I can't remember what it's called, but if you say, it took bloody ages. There's a small one that's, I don't know, 6 inches long, and they had one listed as a big one that was 12 inches long or something for months on end as sold out. And finally I managed to buy one, but then they cancelled my order. And then I had to wait another 6 months before it came up again. But they're really good. And I love introducing fish that way now. I think as much as anything, it makes me feel less stressed introducing a fish.
Yeah.
I feel like it's less there. I know there's not going to be fighting instantly. I'm not going to have a sudden outburst of white spot, which might still happen, but it makes me feel like they won't. So they're just great. There's if you catch a fish in a fish trap, fish traps are still quite small. So I now can catch a fish and then transfer it into the acclimation box until I get rid of it. So love it.
Yeah, quite agree. I've used one recently to introduce fish, and even 24 hours I think in there makes such a difference, especially when you got tangs and kind of more established fish. Makes a big difference. Quite agree.
Well, I'm thinking of putting a purple tank and I'll definitely be putting that in an acclimation box. All right, so that was, in fact, hang on a second. No, I've answered my own question from later. I've just realised that wasn't the oddball piece of equipment at all. Ignore the last 10 minutes of me talking. I listed 5 things actually. I was thinking I thought there was something else. Right. There were 5 things I listed for this. One of them is DJ switches. Have you guys seen DJ switches?
What, like manual?
Yeah, basically plug switches.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
They're absolutely. I'll show you a picture because to make sure.
Yeah.
They're amazing. You just plug all your equipment into the back of it, and then you put this at the front of your cabinet, and you got a little on-off switch for everything.
Nice.
So good. They're actually quite expensive, to be fair.
Yeah.
40, and then you've got to buy all the adapter. But anyway, they're fantastic. I love them. Space saving.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I love them. Talent cell battery backup as well. I discovered this a while ago.
Yes.
Is this thing? If you search Amazon Talent Cell UPS,
that wasn't what I was thinking.
That is basically, it's the same as the Ecotech battery backup.
That's tiny.
It's tiny. It's lithium ion, so that's why. Because the Ecotech one is lead acid.
Yeah,
it's a third the price, a third the weight, and a third the size, basically.
Wow.
It's lithium ion, so it's not like lithium ion phosphate is the better in inverted commas technology, because that will last much longer. Lithium ion will last 3 to 5 years, same as the lead acid, but it's way cheaper, way smaller. It is literally the same thing as the Ecotech, just a lot less money. They're really cool. Also, precision scales. Do you guys use precision scales for calibrating dosing pumps? These things.
I use them in the other half of my East Coast Reefer business.
I was going to say they get called something else in my house.
Well, obviously I don't use it for that, but they're brilliant for I find it so much easier to weigh water when I'm calibrating dosing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To read the thing or whatever. A Dremel as well. You guys got a Dremel?
Yes.
So I had a Dremel for ages, and you use the diamond blade cutting disc, the Reefing one. But I found with the Dremel, it's a pain in the ass because you've got to plug it in somewhere, and I've never got a spare plug socket by the tank. So I bought a cordless Dremel.
Yeah.
The only thing that it turns out after I bought this, there's a smaller version. So you want the Dremel light because this is quite heavy and bulky, but it's so good. It makes it so, and I use it way more than I did before. Absolutely fantastic.
Did you make that guard yourself on it, or did it come with that?
No, it came with that.
Oh, I need that. I haven't got a guard on mine, and I was cutting a frog spawn, I think Harry's favourite coral, and I flicked juice, and because I did it on the camera, I flicked it all up my blind, all up the wall, all on the ceiling, everywhere.
To be fair, so a 3D printed one is probably a good idea because this is, there you can see, it's only a quarter of it. So I still get, you see it's covered in dust. So it does do a job, but I still get coral dust everywhere. So you could definitely 3D print, but then that it blocks, I don't know, work out. But they're fantastic. I love them. And the Dremel Light one as well comes with a USB. You charge it by USB, whereas this you need to remove the battery, and it's got a battery dock, and it's a pain. But I love that. It's wicked. What else was there? The Auto Aqua Auto Shut Off. So that is so actually, Steve, you've got this. So you've got an analog version of this, but this is it's called the Marriage Saver. You put it in your RODI barrel when you're running your RODI filter, and when it gets to the top, it's got a water sensor, and it turns your RODI filter off, and it's brilliant.
Yes.
But you've got a manual version, like an analog version.
Yes. So right here, this I'm just about to fit this into my ATO chamber in the corner, and it is a float valve, but it's a linear one because my water chamber has got a flat top, so I don't want to drill into the side of it. I've got a removable lid thing that unscrews. I'm sure there's a better word than lid I could have used there. But this is basically just going to screw into that, and then because it's now a linear float, that will shut off. And then when that
like a standard float valve in the blue bit, how does it work?
Well, there's I don't know if you can.
Hang on. There we go.
There you go. So that white bit inside, if I tilt it that way, you see it going down. That just lifts up and then shuts it off.
Same way a normal float valve works, basically.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. But instead of having that kind of relying on that hinging action,
So when
goes
I say
straight
float
up.
valve, I'm thinking of the ones that you get in like a Clarity or in an auto top off. It's like a hollow piece of plastic that floats up and down. That's a bit of a sexual motion, isn't it? But you know what I mean? You know the one I mean on the Clarity?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, same sort of thing. Is that no? Because you've got the ball valve type things there.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've got one
I think a
them in
lot of
my-
them are just angular ones, and they just have a kind of bit here that as it lifts up, it just blocks it off.
Yeah. See, if I don't have my RO, because I drag it through, if I don't have the tube kind of pushed in at the right angle, the float valve won't actually work properly because it can't go all the way up. So I've drawn a line on the canister. I have to make sure that the tube's in line with the line.
That feels like it can go wrong.
Yeah, it has more than once. Yeah,
I'll send you a link, Harry.
Much appreciated. I think that will make more sense. Yeah.
So if someone wanted to find that, they would search linear float valve.
Yeah, that's what I searched for to find it. Yeah.
Amazon, did you say?
On Amazon, there's loads of stainless steel ones. Didn't really fancy a stainless steel one.
Sure.
This was the only plastic one I could see.
There you go. Well, there is all of the oddball equipment, and those are the end of the member questions, which means it is time for the show to begin. We're only an hour in 51 minutes. And now we can start talking about the headline topic. So we've got this is the year in review, basically. So we'll just talk generally, basically. So if there's anything that comes into your head, just blurt it out. But there were 4 things I wanted to hear from each of you, and that was firstly your favourite fish from the last year that you've either bought or discovered or whatever, and it can be you can give me 5 or 1 or whatever. So Harry.
So this first one is a little bit contradictory because it's my favorite, but also not. The Australian stripey that I added to my tank did an absolutely incredible job. Eventually, took some time, but eventually, maybe a month in, I noticed most of the aptasia was gone, and then or maybe not even that, maybe a couple of weeks. Within a couple of months, it was 90% gone. So yeah, I did an absolutely incredible job, but they are notorious for growing very quickly. They're quite boisterous. If you've got timid fish in there and you're worried about them not getting enough food, the stripey is definitely a good contender for kind of pushing them out the way, along with tangs and things like that. And as I say, they grow really quickly. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. I think they probably need quite a big tank because they do grow very quickly. They're very active. They're also somewhat brackish looking. So consider if that's something that you kind of want in your tank. Well, yeah, again, I've had this conversation literally again yesterday. We had someone round and I explained this to them because I've explained it on a previous stream with Steve, that people that come to the house love the stripey. People that aren't in the hobby will pick it out as their favorite fish. She was the 4th person yesterday, and it really surprises me that they specifically pick it out. I stand there going, really?
Yeah.
Everything in here, that's the one you pick.
Yeah, exactly.
People, if you bring out like a reefer around, one of Steve's mates, they'll look at if you've got acros, they'll be like, oh, I love that tenuous or whatever.
Yeah,
if you bring like a non-reefer around,
mushroom
is not Dutch. They'll love the pulsing xenia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys know what a scat is? Brackish fish.
No.
No.
So I think they're called. I think the scat part of their name is because they
similar shape.
I think that's right.
Yeah, nice.
I think that that stripies look like this, but spotty obviously instead of stripy.
Yeah.
What they remind me of. But you love your stripy
for the job that he's done. Yes.
Have you taken him out yet, or is he staying?
No, I haven't. Well, until I think he possibly inevitably does start nipping at LPS. I'm happy for him to stay in there. I think it's a fairly big enough system with fair amount of coral that if he is just occasionally nipping, touch wood, doesn't happen, that it wouldn't be much of a problem. So we'll see what happens.
I know why you love it. Do you like his character?
Yes, they're very personable.
Yeah, yeah,
They
totally.
are, and they will kind of follow you around. They certainly know who feeds them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you have an active fish like that in your tank, it is going to encourage all the others to be active.
It's true, like a dither fish sort of effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I notice all my other fish coming out alongside him. So yeah, good.
John, I noticed John asks why choose that over a file fish.
Yeah, so for me, it was just that the file fish didn't do the job. I tried that, and that did the job. That's literally the only reason. But I would absolutely try a file fish first. Both of them are going to be with caution.
All Parker's Reef's fault, because he was the one that introduced. I'm sure they're popular in Australia.
Yeah,
but that's where I saw it, and that's where I think everybody saw Stripey's doing a job on Aptasia. But
yeah.
So have you tried? You said you tried a file fish.
Yes, didn't work for me. No, but it wasn't that big. So I think again they tend to get more of an appetite the bigger and kind of longer they've been in the system.
Yeah. I actually think they're people don't like file fish. I think they bought like Aptasia ones because they're brown and they look a bit dull. But again, I think they're cool. They've got a bit of character. They're
very
totally different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I like them. I would have one if they didn't eat corals. I'd have one just for.
Yeah. Get that.
Yeah. The pink spot, is it pink spot as well? They look quite unusual.
Fish.
Are they green spotted?
The Harlequin filefish.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about something else? Green spotted filefish.
That's a point. I just see something in the comment about nudibranchs. I use those as well, and they were very, very good for me.
Those are the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, orange spot.
They're
that's
stunning.
it.
Yeah,
not pink
they're
spot.
Beautiful.
Oh, cool. I'd love a pair of them.
Yeah, wow.
I just think they're a bit too much effort.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, you said I didn't hear that. What you said?
Yeah, sorry. The Aptasia nudibranchs.
Oh yes, yeah.
Bergia, I think they're called.
Bergias, yeah.
I wasn't sure if they'd worked, and I've got a fairly large Timor wrasse in there. So I assumed they wouldn't last very long, but it was quite a few months down the line. I remember messaging Steve. I had them. They were on my reef mat, so they've been reproducing and doing a job. But they went in at kind of the same time as the stripey, so between them, they would have done it. But I think mine was actually a mixture of hydroids and Aptasia, because honestly, my rocks were carpeted. Like, I cannot even explain to you how bad it was. My rocks were fluffy and flowy. It was completely. So I don't know which one fancied the hydroids as well, but one of them did. So there you go.
Yeah. You said your stripey was boisterous. Do you find him aggressive or just a bit of a...
No, I think just boisterous in terms of, as I say, when it comes to feeding time and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
He's not worried about pushing anyone else out the way to get his meal.
Yeah, okay. Very good. And anyone else, or is that your list, your striping?
No, I think that's me done. Thank you.
Steven, over to you.
So I've got a few on my list, and I know the first one you'll agree with, and that's a Naoko wrasse.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I was gutted when that died. It just randomly died one day. I'd had it quite a while, but I don't know how long they live. But yeah, it was stunning. And you know, if someone was going to spot a fish in your tank, it was going to be that fish. You know, it's just in the light, when the lights start going down, it would swim around at the top and dive bomb all the others. It's such a fantastic fish. I really like that fish. Yeah, and then
would you replace him?
Yes, yeah. So I'm just keeping my eye out for when I see a nice looking one in a fish shop, and I'll be replacing that definitely. And then honourable mentions: yellowtail tamarin. Yes. Got a yellowtail tamarin wrasse, which is really nice.
Is it still alive?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I actually had one for quite a while that did really well until it swam into my MP40.
Dumbass.
And this is the replacement for that MP40 one.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, everything's, it's playing nice with everything as well. It doesn't get chased around. I've got a stripy blenny, which my cleaner wrasse doesn't like. It's constantly harassing it. Although I say constantly, that was at the beginning. It has actually settled down now, and the stripy blenny can swim around on its own without worrying. And my other honourable mention is powder blue tang.
Yeah.
Such a stunning looking fish.
Yeah,
they're cool. So that's how's yours behaving in terms of aggression?
Early days. I haven't had it a huge amount of time, but it's fine. I think if anything, my purple tang is the boss.
Yeah, okay.
And everything else falls into line with that, basically.
Did you quarantine it?
No.
No judgment. Didn't you? No. Cool.
Nope. No, I
Are
didn't.
you worried about white spot, or is it just like, yeah, whatever?
I was a little bit concerned about it, but I got it from a reputable shop that I knew would have had it out the back for 2 or 3 weeks first.
Yeah.
To let it acclimate. And then I brought it home and put it in. It was going straight into this tank. I didn't buy it until I got this tank. And it was in with the purple and a mustard mimic tang. And to be honest, the thing that gave it the most hard time was the mimic tang. Chased it around constantly for about an hour, and then went, yeah, okay, that's fine. We've got plenty of space.
Okay.
And they all get on quite well now. I've since added a blonde naso tang as well.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, Ryan always says they're like the headmaster. This shop that you bought it from that you can trust is an advanced shop.
It is very advanced. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, good choices. You said honourable mentions. Is it just the PB?
Well, the yellowtail tamarin and the powder blue.
Yeah, you said. Yeah, they're so cool. I'd love it. The yellowtail tamarin. I tried one years ago. It died, but I've not been brave enough to try one again since, which I should, because it's just a stunning fish. Are they expensive?
About 70 quid, I think.
Yeah, not bad, to be fair. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go and buy one now.
Expensive if you're down your fish shop, but if you're at a hobby shop, if you get a fish and chips, 70 quid for your fish is a bit pricey.
Especially one that small. So I had two. Mine was the Australian stripey as well, which is it's really cool. And mine started eating up Tasia, which is brilliant.
Hey,
slowly, and he's not demolished it. I thought he'd just get a taste and then bang, get everything. He hasn't done that, but he's not touched any corals yet, so he's in my good books. But I'm the same as you. He's going back to the LFS line. And the other one was the one you mentioned, the chocolate tang, the mimic lemon peel tang. So cool. I love them. And mine's just started to get his brown colouring, which a lot of people will tell you is boring, but those people are wrong. They're just cool. I like them a lot. All right. So the other, the same question then, but for your favourite coral that you've either bought or discovered or whatever of the last year. And we're going to start with Stephen.
No, I've got a picture. Let me add it to the stage, or add it to the bit so you can add it. Let me grab it here. That should be there for you. Sugar tits.
Ooh, sugar tits.
That's the name of this coral. Stunning. It's one of Ron's corals from Eden Corals. And to be fair, the stuff he's got is just phenomenal. But yeah, this one, it was pre-coral cage design before I printed them off the coral cages, and it didn't travel particularly well, and it took a bit of a hit, but it's grown back really nicely now, and it's really starting to put out a bit of growth. So it's quite high up on my list of favourite corals at the moment. And so then
is this your photo or is this a stock photo?
This is from the colony that the frag was taken from.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like it. Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask you about your Strattons as well. You love your Strattons, don't you?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the look of so there's three big things. The look of the fish. So you'll see, well, maybe later on, because I'm normally on an hour later. So, but normally in my live stream slot, it goes into the blue mode. Maybe I can switch on to blue in a minute, and you get the same pop as you get with like the red sea lights and things. But the white that you get and the look of the fish that you get with that white there's just nothing else that I've seen like it. The second thing is the complete lack of fans.
Yeah.
So they are totally silent. And the third thing is the power draw.
Okay,
so they are, I think those two, and let me open up the web page for it, and I'll tell you how much they're drawing, because it's got a current sensor built in, but it is crazy low. When you compare it to like the Red Sea Reef Led 90s were what I had before, each one of them is obviously 90 watts. My lights are currently at 30% in their white mode. They're just starting to go into blue. And the pair are drawing 85 watts.
It's pretty good. Did you have your Reef Leds at 100%?
About 80%.
So more or less. How many of them did you have, did you say?
Well, it was over the two. When I had the Reefer 250, I had two Reef Led.
You'd have 4 then, wouldn't you? So
yeah,
let's call that 300 watts. And what did you say that was running at?
83 at the moment.
83 each?
Yeah.
No, in total.
Total, bloody hell, that's mental. That's really
and
good. I'm assuming you're getting comparable pie, reasonable.
Yeah. So even right now at 30%, it's telling me that at 45 centimeters from the light, it's 340 par. So about here, it's still 340 par.
Yeah, okay. Have you tested that? The par?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it
yes. At 30 centimeters, it's complete bollocks. At 60 and 75 centimeters, it is almost exactly spot on.
Okay, that's pretty good. So you can use it as a rough guide. Well,
yes. Yeah. It's I'll just completely ignore the first reading, the 30 centimeters from the light.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Well, at my peak, that says it's 780 something par. It really isn't. But the 45 centimeter, that's maybe 10% higher than it should be. The other two are pretty much spot on.
Yeah. Okay. Very impressive. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely something to, I think, implement, like that other manufacturers should implement, even if they kind of say this is a rough guide. I think unless you've got someone that you know with a par meter or something, it's not something that everyone's going to go out and buy unless they, for some reason, become widely available and affordable. So I think that's a really, because
it doesn't need to be spot on it. Because if you just especially if it's your first tank and you want to turn lights on to 100%, and if that tells you, if the app says, "Watch out, mate, you've got par of 800 and it should be 80," then that is instantly, oh great, I'll turn it down. Otherwise, you're just going to think, oh wow, my tank looks amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. Yeah, okay, that's good.
That should turn into the blue mode any second. There we go.
There we go.
So that's now, if I move to the side, that should focus in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good. What camera have you got out of curiosity, Steve?
A Sony ZV-1.
Yeah. Which that's not full frame, right? That's the compact.
Yeah, that's compact. Yeah. I'm in the process of moving to that for the live stream. So that's what I normally use. It's a GH5.
Oh, I see. Right.
But I haven't got around to putting it up and setting it all up.
So I had a ZV-1 as well briefly, but it just made my face look really red. I didn't like it. But apart from that, it was good. Anyway, sorry. Like everyone else in the chat has done a Ryan now. Anyway, right. Anyway, Coral, yeah. So you've done the. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Did you say?
So yeah, I said sugar tits, didn't I? That was the first one. We showed the picture, and then I've also got a Symphilia wilsoni and
Nice.
Oh, damn it. It said, oh, I was trying to get rid of the photo. And it kicked Steve.
Kicked him out.
Oh, Steve, I'm so sorry. Please come back.
Bless him.
Oh, man. It said kick guest, and I was like, kick guest. And I was clicking on the photo one. It must be the
Oh
right thing.
no. Oh no.
Mate, I'm sorry. Please
What does he
come
have
back.
to do? Send a link? I'm
I
sure
think
he
no,
will.
he should just pop back in a sec,
Yeah.
assuming he realizes. Oh, God.
He's not sat there just
Harry.
still talking to the
I know,
camera.
yeah. I'll be like, Alex, Harry.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for him to come back. And whilst he's doing that, Harry,
Oh,
what's
hang
your...
on. He's texted me. Just me that gone.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, join again. So mine, yeah, I have to second Eden Corals. I had a disaster with my tank, and Ron very kindly, along with others, offered to help me kind of get it back on track. And the corals he's sent over, just the coloration and the size of the frags are borderline silly. So hello, Steve. Nice to
Hello.
see you.
Did you just kick me out?
I did. I was trying to. So I clicked on the photo because you that photo was up, and it's. I was trying to get rid of that, and it said kick. It said kick guest from stream. I was like, well, it's not a guest, it's a photo, but this must be right. And I pressed it, and it got rid of you instead of the photo. Sorry.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So you were just talking about Symphilia as well.
Symphilia wilsoni I got at Finest when we went up there for a reef meet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And also a King Solomon's Millie.
King Solomon's Millie. Ooh.
Which I got from AAC. And that looks really nice as well.
There's Solomon Islands Millie. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just the name that they made up for it. It's like a gold, very fluffy Millie.
Are you you're a bit of a mixed reef tank? Then I take it.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Sorry, Harry, I cut you off. What were you saying? Your
I was just seconding.
Eden
Eden Corals. Again, the quality, the colours and stuff. But then also, just over my this shoulder, here is a group of, I don't know how many, say 7 different hammers. And I couldn't pick like a favorite coral, so I thought, what's my kind of favorite part in the tank? And wrong way, I'm mirrored. Just there is my hammer garden, and to see all the different kind of colors and shapes and things all interlocking and growing together now that they've really grown out into one another, and it is like a true garden. I think it looks stunning. I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. I tried to use like the color wheel thing and try and get the opposites on the opposite ends, and really happy with that, how that turned out.
About time, heaven's sake, God.
Hey.
Very nice. Yeah, you can't beat a hammer garden. And
it's easier than a torch garden.
100%. We've got a special guest in the chat.
Hey,
good
how you doing,
evening, Ryan?
What was mine? Did I have one? Oh yes, I did. And I took a photo of this because it's easy to show it on the stream. So mine was I went to, every now and then, like, you're prepared to go to the ends of the earth to buy a coral, right? This wasn't a million miles, to be fair, but I went up to Oxford. I found this an Iron Man gonny. Seen an Iron Man gonny? It's this bad boy. It's so nice. It looks just, if you don't look at it close up, it just looks red, but it's got like, if you get the magnifying glass out, it's got like green,
greens and stuff.
And orange, and it's just so nice.
Very
and the
nice.
polyps are absolutely massive and really fleshy and fat.
Nice
really
picture as well.
Yeah, it was quite expensive, to be fair, but I think it's one of those corals that's worth it. So yeah, really nice. That was my one. But you don't find them very often. I was hoping to find one that I could be like, hey, go and get this from prestigereef.co.uk, the UK's number one coral website. But there we go. Don't get too. Ryan's getting in with the threats. Jealous. All right, so we've got, I tell you what, actually, Ryan, perfect timing, mate. We've just done favorite fish and coral of the year, and now we can move on to favorite piece of equipment. So we're going to start with, I can't remember whose turn it is now. Steve.
Favorite piece of equipment? I think I've said the 3D printer so many times now. I've got to say the reef mat.
I'll kick you out.
That was going to be mine.
The reef mat is just one of those things that you think, how did I get on without it?
Yeah.
And I think the only problem with one is it can strip out too much.
Mm-hmm.
And if it gets to that point, you just run it off of a pump rather than from your return.
Yeah.
And then your problem's solved.
This is true. It's not the quietest piece of machinery in the world, is it?
No. And it knows when I'm recording a video. And it
like,
always indexes this. Yeah. And you're like, oh. If you saw the outtakes of me swearing and it's just gone off again, me swearing about it, indexing round.
Have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a scene in that when they're in the van and he goes, "Hey, do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?" That's what it reminds me of. Not that loud.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good one. Okay. Anything else, or was it the reef mat? Is that you?
Just that. I think all of the other things are just. They're just there. One thing that I will say though, I can't believe it took us so long as an industry to come up with the idea of a reef mat.
Yeah. Ryan's expressing his thoughts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're very good. Have you seen the tiny the roll drum thing? What they call a tiny drum film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that tiny, is it?
Like public aquarium, they're bloody enormous. I think they're like £1 million each and stuff. But
is that not what? Sorry, go on.
Go on.
That's what I said. Go on, because I forgot his name.
Tyler Garden.
Yes, thank you. Has just started using.
I think so.
I saw it
first from Raj Shingadia from Reef Builders.
Right. Okay.
Because he likes that kind of industrial level stuff. But yeah, I think I might have seen a Tyler Garden video on it recently as well.
Yeah, he did. He was in Germany, wasn't he? I'm trying to think of what manufacturer he was at. He was at one of them. And yeah, and they had one of these. It wasn't as big as I was. I mean, I wouldn't call it tiny, but it wasn't quite as big as I thought it was going to be from looking at the sizes.
Yeah,
when you actually see it,
genuinely tiny, like I say, like skimmer size or whatever, or reef mat size, that would be cool. But I don't fully understand how it works with its flushing itself, and I think it drains away a load of water, but maybe it doesn't. And I think I'd want to see one.
Yes, yeah, it's interesting to see in that video that Than did the bucket that they were using for the waste, because he was concerned that it would need plumbing in, it would need a lot of weight, it would create a lot of waste. But actually, he had it on a 25-litre drum in this video, and they reckoned that it would last 2 or 3 weeks on that before they had to clean it.
So if it was empty, a fifth the size or whatever, then you're in business, basically.
Yes.
Interesting. And there we go, one for the future. Who's working on that? Very good. So your piece of equipment of the year is the reef mat. Specifically the reef mat, or just filter rollers generally?
Filter rollers in general, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Harrington.
Yeah, that was going to be mine. So I'm having to grasp at straws a little bit, and I'm just looking behind me. I think I will say put in the AI blades on my tank for primarily the additional spread and to alleviate shading with the coral. I think, yeah, that's made quite a big difference. But also visually, seeing all these stratons go up and feeling very envious, I can set the blade to quite a white spectrum. I also run LED 90s, which you can run white, but I think the usable light that the corals kind of use, you've only got those 2 channels, so they do tend to run quite blue.
Narrow. Yeah. Well, with both. So you and I have got the same setup in that case.
Yes. Yeah.
And the spectrum on both is quite narrow, but it looks
yeah. So I think to balance the blue out a bit more white, and then I've also got a glow along the front as well, which again is kind of tilted inwards and helping with the not shaving, shadowing, and again that pop, which is always nice, always appreciated.
Am I right in saying that you sell your angled AI blade holder?
I don't. No. I did cut it on the laser cutter, so it's just I think probably 5mm black acrylic, maybe 6mm.
It's just too lazy to put it on the website.
Honestly, this is my problem. I have so many ideas, so many products, but I always say to Steve to write the descriptions and do the photography and upload it and then sort all the stock. And yeah, I'm terrible.
So if you want one, just message Harry.
Just message, yeah, I'll sort you out.
Very good. So yeah, you've got we've got some good things so far. Mine was, well, I've already talked about it because I'm an idiot. The acclimation box.
Yes.
Did I have anything else there? No, acclimation box. I've not really bought that much equipment this year, actually, funnily.
Any other boxes that you've got that you might like?
The Aqua Whiz.
Yeah, interested to hear how that's going.
I still think it's too early, to be honest, because you want to know how it performs long term. But so far it's been probably 2 months. It's really good. It is good, but
Is it loud?
Yeah, it's noisy. Yeah. So the trouble is, so I put a video on. I don't know if you saw. I put a video on Instagram, and I'd made a little box to make it quiet, and I wasn't trying to show you the noise levels. But it sounded really loud on the video, which it wasn't because my phone was right next to it. And I got a load of people commenting saying, "Oh my God, it's so loud and that's unbearable." And then Aquawiz were like, "Oh, we can help you make it quieter," and messaged me. I was like, "Just no, it's not that loud. I'm just showing you the box." Exactly. You ignore the sound, which is my fault, really. I should have thought about that. But it's when I apparently Aquawiz said that, I think they said that you can make it quieter, but it's fine if you've got it in a cabinet, in your tank cabinet. It's probably okay anyway. It's still a bit noisy, but if you have it out of a cabinet, and I don't have that much space, so I couldn't fit it in my cabinet. It's noisy, and like at first I could hear it upstairs. You can set it so it doesn't test overnight, so it doesn't make noise overnight. But if you couldn't do that, and it was just that noisy, it would be too noisy. But if you put it in a cabinet, and I've put it in a soundproof cabinet, effectively, it's fine.
So is it like a bubble noise?
No, it's like a. Have you ever had a bubble, an air stone in a freshwater tank?
Yeah.
It's like a constant hum. And
so it's the pump rather than the bubbles.
Yeah, the diaphragm in that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The mechanical noise, and it is quite noisy. But I saw another one from a guy who hadn't been given it for free, so he's not bullshitting. Not that it doesn't. Not that it means, as you guys know, not that means you are if you've been given it for free. But you know what I mean. And he said it was fine, basically. So, yeah, I don't.
Have you heard a Trident running?
Yes, only in a shop, so it's quite loud.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could compare audio levels between the two. If...
Hard to say, but it's probably similar. It's not quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if you could change the pump, the air pump. So I've got a really quiet air pump that I've used before.
Oh, really? An air stone? Like an air? Does it generate?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's an air pump that would push it, and you'd have to use that pump rather than the one that they've used.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one that you could have like in your bedroom, kind of thing. Right. It's that quiet. It's really good, and it was dirt cheap on Amazon as well.
Nice.
Interesting. I feel like if someone else copied that technology. Because Aquawiz, I don't know anything about them. I think they've been around for 4 or 5 years from what I can make out, but not really in Europe, the States and Australia. But I feel like if a company like Ecotech or Red Sea made one, you'd want them to make. I don't think you'd tolerate it. If you bought like a piece of Ecotech equipment, you expect it to be a certain standard. And I think it would be a lot more expensive for a start. But I think you'd question that. So if I wonder if one of those companies copies it, if they can figure out a way to make it properly quiet. It doesn't bother me. It's not a problem. But if you were spending north of $1,000 and got this sexy piece of equipment from Ecotech, you'd want it to be all good.
Solid.
But yeah, that's good as well. To be fair, I don't think I've done a million reviews this year. Have you been? Do you guys get sent stuff to review?
No.
Manufacturers don't really do that in our hobby. Like anything else on YouTube, there's all over the place. Cameras, whatever you name it, it's all over the place. But they don't seem to do it in our hobby.
I think we're just a very small niche hobby, right? And there's just. But I do think we kind of spoke about this at Aqua, that the hobby is modernizing slowly, and I think it's just a case of playing catch up somewhat, in that so many people nowadays consume more social media and more YouTube than they do television. So I think, not that you're going to see an ad for a reef mat on prime TV, but you see what I'm saying. I think it's it makes sense, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But
I think the key with a lot of these things is getting them into the hands of people that are going to give you that feedback for more for a product development angle than a product marketing angle.
Great example, Steve. When I when I first met Steve, I gave him some marine spec products, and he basically come back and said, right, this is crap, do this, this and this. Not quite in that tone, but he did say to me, look, if you did this, that would be brilliant. And that was so helpful. And I was able to kind of implement those changes and then look at it and go, do you know what? Yeah, that's a much better product, because I've had that feedback and that real world usage. I think when you're working on something kind of solo, and it's, working for yourself can be quite isolating. You're just in your home and doing what you're doing. And then to have, external feedback and someone else's opinion and fresh eyes is really, really important.
There are some companies that do welcome that, and I've had conversations before. They've said, "Look, we want you to be honest, and we want you to tell us, because if there's something that's not good, we want to know about it." So, and I think that's brilliant. That's the right attitude. But anyway, I've gone off topic. Where were we? So we've done equipment. So Ryan, wake up again now, mate. And the other thing, this is so I like this as well. This was the favorite thing that you've learned about the hobby. I don't know. Information about how to keep a coral or whatever, the thing that you've learned, because every day is a school day with this hobby, over the last year. Steve, you're looking pensive. What are you thinking?
So for me, it's one of those ones where I have to learn it again every time. I think patience, unless it's on fire, don't react immediately. Yeah. And I think we're all guilty of reacting too quickly to things and changing too much. And I think just, if anyone that really knows me well is probably like laughing their ass off at the moment, me saying patience is a key. But I think it really is. And it is a real struggle for me, because I don't have a lot of patience. And I have to just constantly kind of berate myself into like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just wait. Have more patience.
Give me an example. What are you talking about?
So prime example, ugly stage in my tank. And my immediate reaction is just see all the gravel looking manky. And I'm like, right, okay, I need to clean it. But doing that then drags it out a little bit more. I kind of,
off and just leave.
So I initially started off by doing half of my tank. So one half of it, I raked all the gravel every day to break off all the cyano and everything and keep it nice, looking nice and white. And the other side I just left. And that way then I could kind of tick the box that I was doing something and settle my anxiety over just having it look a mess. But also see how much of an impact that had. And I think, I don't know how much it actually taught me, the little experiment, apart from maybe just tried to make me be a little bit more mindful about having that bit of patience. I did in the end. I raked one side of it every day for a week. And then at the end of it, I was like, right, okay, now I need to leave it for a week and see what happens to each side. So yeah, it's just that constant reminder, be patient.
Very good. Very true indeed. Harry, what have you learned?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good one. I think I can relate, definitely. An example with me is that my Trident, one of the little tubes had come off, which has been quite a common theme for me, but I've sorted it now. But it was therefore testing slightly wrong. So it was saying my calcium was 550. And I thought, before I act on that, let's just test again with the trial, and let's test again with another kit. And it's things like that, with, as Steve says, not jump into conclusions, and just taking a step back and going, hang on a minute, let's think about this a bit more rationally. Yeah, I think I agree with patience. I did think of something else, but I've forgotten it now, so I'm afraid. I'm sure it'll pop back.
If you remember, just shout again.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all very good. So I had two things that I've learned this year. One of which is, well, actually, they're both new to me, but not new to marine science as such. You know, Dong, he does I can't remember, Dong Zhu, I think it is. He does live stream. Yeah, he's in America. So he, I think it was him. Oh, was it? No, actually, maybe it was someone else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was that if you're putting nori in your tank, that adds iodine to your tank. So you're effectively dosing iodine by feeding nori. That's really it's not like that means that you don't need to dose iodine if you've got really low levels or whatever. But that was really cool, and that made me think. It kind of encouraged me to feed nori more, which you should do anyway if you've got veggie fish anyway. But the thing that was definitely from Dong, in fact, I've just found there's three things definitely from Dong, was that Red Sea Reef Energy AB Plus has a dye in it. That's that fluorescent stuff is a dye they put in. That's not the amino acids or vitamins or whatever. It's a dye in there. That's what makes it do that, which I thought was interesting. And the final thing I learned, and this was, I can't remember why I was looking this up, but this is from Randy Holmes Farley, our reef chemist mate. And he's got this is a post that he's put on Reef to Reef probably years ago, but it's the ratio at which calcium alkalinity and magnesium are consumed. So for every 2.8 DKH of alkalinity, your corals or your tank will consume 17.5 parts per million of calcium and 1.5 parts per million of magnesium.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't really, if you're testing everything individually and dosing it, you don't need to know that because you'll work out generally. But just that those numbers, 2.8 DKH alkalinity equals 17.5 parts per million calcium and 1.5 parts per million magnesium, tells you how slowly calcium depletes, and particularly magnesium as well, compared to alkalinity, which goes down all the time. Wow. So that was, I didn't realize, and I don't know if that's, I might be misquoting him. I don't know if that's like a fact of this is the way it works in all corals or all tanks or whatever. I'm sure it varies, but that my understanding is that's just kind of like the rough way, the rough ratio in which corals precipitate macro elements, which was really cool. I like that.
Very interesting. Nice.
Share in the chat, by the way, if you've learned anything interesting.
My other one was to do with dosing the DIY elements. Again, something I said on another live stream. Yeah. Such a world of a difference. And once you give it a good go and you're careful and you kind of follow the recipes, obviously test as you're kind of switching over or starting up your new tank, whatever you're doing. It's so worth doing. And in terms of like the savings, it is just like a world of a difference. How much you've got to spend kind of on those main three elements. I did say in the other stream, I think off the shelf elements have their place. I think certainly if you're newer to dosing and things like that, you want to be able to read a box or a bottle and kind of do as it says. But once you're a little bit more comfortable with kind of your reef and how these elements are interacting and things, it's such a good helpful bit of knowledge to know. Because the other side to it is, if you run out of something and the shop's not open till the next day, that kind of thing, you're going to have so much supply. You buy it once and it's going to last you a couple of years. So you're kind of sorted for such a long time that you just not even got to worry.
Where do you buy your suspicious white powders from?
Primarily Amazon now. I was kind of shopping around, but I found that most of the brands that you can buy from, like Direct Chems or anything like that, they're on Amazon
APC.
Anyway. APC Pure is another one.
Pure. Yeah, that's how I've used.
Yeah, I've used that as well. But now everything, again, that come from the Discord from Ron. If he's tried it and had good luck and, we've seen his corals, I'm well happy to go with his suggestion.
You also mixed up his magic juice, the paste that kills everything.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is a handy thing to have.
What's that?
That was my first. Yeah, it's like glorified calc paste with a and that will just, even if you've got like an encrusting Monty that you'd prefer to play out a little more than encrust in, that's another use case that works really well with that. But yeah, before the Stripey and the Bergia, I gave that a good go as well, and that did it made a big difference. But you've just got to be careful, because especially with a scape like mine that's kind of overhanging, anything underneath it literally obliterates everything. And watch for your obviously pH and alk spike as well. So you know, with caution certainly on that one. But
with that scape, you said you got it from RR Aquascapes. When did you get it?
When I set the tank up, so around 2 years.
2 years, right? Okay, so I got my last one from them about 18 months ago.
Yeah,
I was wondering if it was more recent, unfortunately, but they're brilliant. I love them. I bought escapes from them. Did you get a phosphate spike at first?
Not notable. Not that I think my phosphate and nitrate took longer to stabilize than they otherwise would have. I think I have found it to be quite like quite a lot of fluctuation from them. Whether that's primarily because of the rock or not, I'm not sure, but I do believe that using a scape like that, you know, you're going to have a more challenging initial year with the tank than you would using live rock or even like cured rock.
I did go looking on your channel before the stream to see if there was an update on your tank recently. There is not, so I've got a request for you.
It's very, very old footage of the tank. In fact, I think you'll see all the hydroids. So. Yeah, okay.
Get all the work
video for Alex.
Your mortgage, exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, very good. Okay. All right. Well, those are all of the things that we have learned. Well, it's not all the things that we have learned, of course. And in fact, in terms of patience, I've learned that lesson many years ago. I'm still sucking at it. I'm still terrible at being patient.
Yeah.
But, one day. I find it helps being lazy sometimes, because if there's a problem that comes up and you just leave it because you can't be asked, that substitutes patience and it just fixes itself. So it's like, yes.
Yeah, you can definitely be too eager, can't you? On the other end, yeah,
exactly, yeah. All right. So I also looked back at. I should have gone through as we go in the live stream. I should keep a note of all the news that me and Ryan talk about, and that would make this very much easier. But what I am going to do is I've gone through a list of how many things are there here. A list of products, and Ryan's going to bloody love this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 products that have been released in the last 12 months. And I want you guys to tell me, in fact, no, 9. 2 of them are things that have happened in the last year. But so I want you guys to choose, and then you get to choose between you, and it will then be a fact. And we'll make a trophy or something. Steve can 3D print a trophy. Okay. So the first 2 things that happened were bad news. So we had 2 companies go pop, one of which came back. And so it didn't really go pop. But the first one was Refactory that went bankrupt. And there was a bit of chatter around at the time, just speculation basically, about, well, what might happen. The KH Keeper was the one thing that was particularly good that people thought, well, maybe I don't know, Ecotech will scoop up the rights to that or whatever, but I haven't seen anything at all. And I did wonder if Refactory might come back in some guise, but they haven't. It doesn't mean they won't, because this was only, I think, April or May of this year, so that's still relatively fresh for a company like that going bang.
I think there's probably still a lot of paperwork going through for it, isn't there?
Yeah, but with the longer a company after that, the more time that passes after a company dies, the more all of the equipment gets sold off, and the people who used to work there, all the knowledge disappears. So it does make me wonder if that is just gone forever. I think that's probably the case. But and then we also had Live Aquaria go bankrupt, and then turns out they didn't go bankrupt a day later.
Yeah.
And, sorry, 10% off sale. Hi, you're okay. And that's still now running to this day, which is great from my point of view, because I use it to look at fish all the time. If I'm choosing a fish, Live Aquaria is the first place I go. Can't buy them because Atlantic Ocean, but Do you guys use that? Where do you go? Where do you guys go when you look for fish?
Yeah, so I use that one, and normally the Abyss Aquatic Warehouse website. That's pretty good as well.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I'm particularly loyal to any one store, to be honest, on like online. Yeah.
I'm talking about just where I go for the pictures.
Same,
not where I'm buying them from.
Yeah. No, I'll just search.
Yeah. Okay. Just Google it.
Yeah.
And now, all right. So we have now the 9 piece of equipment. Piece of equipment is a little bit of a
H2O Aquatics went bust as well this year.
Yes, they did. You're right. You're quite right. Yeah, you're right, Charles. Yeah, and they Rachel was brilliant, but I couldn't stand. Oh, okay, let's not go down that road. You might not be the only person to share that opinion, though. Yes. Well, were you near them, Steve?
Reasonably. I went in their shop. It's a very unique customer experience I had visiting there. It was a shop that that you could fit a lot in. I went there twice. The first time I went there, my wife and I were going to London, and I'd strong-armed her into driving through the town where this is in. It's right in the town centre. There's no car park. You have to go and park in the supermarket nearby and then walk over. My wife was not in the best mood because I wanted to swing by this place, and I got there and it was all locked up. And I was very frustrated, and I left a Google review explaining my experience. And then I went to visit Pelagic Rob, who lived very close by. And it was around lunchtime that I got there, so he was eating. I said, "Don't worry, I'll go to H2O and have a look round." And he said, "Oh, I'm in H2O at the moment." He obviously told them that I was going in, and then they then basically accosted me when I walked in the door. "Oh, you're the guy that gave me a bad review."
Did they force you to take it down, or what happened?
No, I just explained. I said, "Well, if you'd have put a sign on."
It was shut unexpectedly?
Yeah, it was like the middle of the day. It was in the middle of their opening hours. They just decided to go to the shop to post some stuff. I'm like, if you'd have put a sign on the door that said "back in 5 minutes,"
they didn't.
I would have just waited.
Right. Yeah,
but I just went to open the door and it was locked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit amateur, isn't it? I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But so what happened with that conversation?
Well, I just basically, it was a little bit awkward, but I just said, "Well, read the review. That's what happened."
Yeah.
I got there, middle of your opening hours, and the door was locked.
Yeah. So reviews do hurt companies, so they get upset by it. But there's a way of dealing with it, isn't it? And maybe replying to the review to apologise and explain or something would have been a better way than confronting you.
Yeah, or even maybe waiting until we'd spoken a bit and said, hopefully this is working out better than your last visit. I'm really sorry about that. This is what happened.
Yeah.
But I was like, whoa, okay, this is a bit awkward.
I did go to a shop once that no longer exists, and I'd uploaded a video, like, I don't know, the day before or whatever, and it featured, there was a fish that was from their shop, and it had Popeye, so which I didn't notice. But the first thing, like, I walked through the door, literally the first thing that one of the staff members came up and said was, "I've got a bone to pick with you." I was like, okay. And then they said about this, they said, "Oh yeah, your video had a fish from our shop that had Popeye." I was like, right, okay, which one was it? Told me, and it was so I'd gone in. You could, in the clip, and I'd muted a clip on the video, of course, but you could hear me talking to the shop owner in the background. It wasn't, I'd not gone in and sneakily found like a dodgy fish or whatever, and no one, I don't think anyone noticed, but it was like instantly, it was like, "I've got a bone to pick with you." I was like, all right. But yeah, funny. All right, so you didn't have a great experience with H2O.
No, but it was amazing how much stuff they packed in, and like anyone who was local to them, they had anything Apex and Neptune. If you needed something, they had it.
I think I bought a skimmer. I bought my Bubble King skimmer from them about 2 years ago, and it took about 6 months for it to arrive, which wasn't a problem because I hadn't set up the tank yet. But there was some issue about I think they said that they were waiting for more orders before they placed an order with Royal Exclusive or something. But it went on for a long time. I was really patient with them. I was like, don't worry, it's fine. But when they went bust like a year later, I did think actually maybe I got a bit lucky there because I suspect there were lots of people who would have bought stuff and just didn't get it. So,
yes,
stuff on your credit card online.
Exactly.
Okay, the top 9 pieces of equipment / tanks for you two to judge are, and they've got to be released in the last year. First off is the TMC First Wave 78, which you can see to my left.
The water clarity in that is phenomenal.
It's like it's not there, isn't it? It's like the rock is floating in thin air. You guys would have seen this at Aqua.
Yes,
it was on the TMC stand. I don't know if you remember it.
Yep.
So that is the first one. Second one is the Red Sea Reef LED Gen 2 lights, which is fair to say is an incremental upgrade, but nonetheless. The third one is the Red Sea Gen 3 tanks. And I can repeat all of these actually because you might forget.
Yeah, so the Gen 3 tanks for the one we've got, the S850, not much of a change. But for
a gate valve, is that right?
Yeah, it's got an actual gate valve and the plumbing is a bit bigger. That's like the only real differences.
What is it? Anything else, or is it literally just that?
It's just that.
Okay.
On the bigger one.
If you've got is it 425 or 525 and above? So between the ones we've got and that one, they've got the bracing.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit more substantial.
Yeah, a bit more of an upgrade for those guys.
Yeah, bracing's a big thing, I think.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that a lot more.
Yeah.
So actually winding back to the Reef LED Gen 2, there's just a slightly broader spectrum and a few more features in the app as far as they can make it up. I've not finished properly testing mine yet. Number 4 is the Cade Gen 3 tanks. The S3, I think they're called. Unfortunately, there was no Cade Gen 3 tanks at Aqua. So I just to make do with seeing them online. And what's his face? Sydney Reefer's got one of those, the Peninsula one. They look quite cool. But they've got bracing as well. And much more. And so you and our tank, Steve, has got bracing on 3 sides. The Cade ones have got bracing all around the edges. And it's also got like little cutouts for cables and all that sort of stuff. They've thought it through quite cleverly. And various other updates as well. And the Cade, they're just really feature-packed tanks anyway. They come with, I think they come with polycarbonate mesh tops now. I might be making that up.
That's very cool if they do.
Yeah, that's good.
I might be making that up. Now I'm saying that, I'm like, hang on a second, they're quite expensive. Would they include that for? Anyway, let's just go with it. No, thank you. Next one was the AI Hydra Edge.
Yes.
The fancy AI light with a Kessel style shimmer light in the middle, and then the AI blades either side, effectively, but all in one unit, which I like the look of.
And there's another. Sorry, I might be jumping the gun a bit, but there is another new light from them as well, isn't there?
Ooh, is there?
The Spectrum, which is like a low-cost version.
DD one.
Yes. That is not yet available.
Oh, is it not?
It is. Maybe it is actually. So it wasn't when we went to Aqua.
I think it's just been delivered to all the shops like last week.
December, actually, you're right. 9 in stock available for immediate dispatch. Wow.
Yeah, so I think Ben's Corals had them, AAC had them. I saw someone else posting about it as well. Yeah,
there we go. Swell, Aqua Cadabra, everybody, but Charthouse, everyone. There we go. Well, there we go. Add that to the list. There's a 10 now, top 10. DD Spectrum. So yeah, they were at Aqua, weren't they? And they're it's hard to say because they had the lights on, but there was no water in the tank, so who knows? And the app wasn't functional. They couldn't show us the app at the time. So who knows? But they were surprisingly cheap. I was impressed with how cheap they are. So for the 90 watt unit, it's 250 quid. And a 90 watt, Radeon XR15 is 105 watts or something like that, I think. So roughly equivalent. Red Sea
Yeah.
Reef LED, obviously. And an XR15, I think, is like 400 quid. So,
So comparatively,
40-30% cheaper, something a lot less.
Yeah.
And the 150, which I'm going to go out on a limb and guess is 150 watts, but I'm going to check that first. Yes, 152 watts. Oh, the 90 is 96, by the way. 152 watts is 400 quid. And that's not quite the same as a Radeon, an XR30, because I think they're like 200. But nonetheless, it's in the same ballpark. And a Radeon is like 700-800 quid, an XR30, something like that now.
Yeah.
So good price. Very good price. It might be total garbage, but it's cheap, saying it. No, I'm only joking. I'm sure it's fair to say that DD generally do decent stuff, to be fair. So
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be good. Although they did, when I talked to them at Aqua, they were talking about how it does great spread and great power. And I came away thinking, well, it's just one or the other.
Yeah.
You can't have both. So I did wonder about that. I think it probably, I don't know. Anyway, not anyway. There we go. D Spectrum is next on there as well. A cheap option, which is great. It's so good to see. To be fair, a cheap option.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It gets more and more expensive, doesn't it? So something a bit more budget friendly from a known entity like DD, who generally do good stuff, is great. Next up was the Parwise Pro, which I thought was earlier than this year, but Steve, you had one of those.
Yes. Yeah, I've got one. It was early in the year, wasn't it? But yeah. I think the thing I like the most is that they've tried to do this CPUR or CPUR option now, which is the photosynthetic usable radiation for corals. So not just here's your PAR, this is how much of that PAR your corals can actually use and at what wavelengths and everything. I think that's kind of ahead of the curve a little bit because everyone is still using PAR. And I think until CPUR becomes a bit more mainstream, people are just going to use PAR.
I agree. That's the one thing I think it's great, but it's kind of a useless number because if you go Googling, what should my CPUR be? And that CPUR isn't a scientific number. It's the number that they've, or a field that they've, I don't want to say made up because it is based on science, but it's like a proprietary measurement. And so if you go Googling, what should my CPUR be? No one's got any clue. So you just do it by PAR. But I like it. I like that it's there. I don't think it's that useful for most people, but it's good. Yeah. And it's, like you say, ahead of the curve. I can imagine in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, it'll be more useful. So,
and I like that if you go to the CPUR screen, it gives you like a background of the maximum usable radiation for each wavelength of light. So it gives you that guideline so you can adjust all your colors.
Yeah.
And you know, if you adjust your color beyond that background, that's just a waste because it can't use that extra amount anyway. And if you've got a whole load of light in a range that it can't use, well, there's no point in having that on. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Good bit of kit, and it's more accurate. I believe it's more accurate as a PAR meter than the Senai Reef. So I had a Senai Reef for years. I tested them against each other, and the Senai Reef was fine. It'll tell you whether your car is going to melt or not, which is all you really need. But it was quite a way off on some measurements, and when I measured them against the Apogee, it was more or less the same as the Apogee, plus or minus. So it wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
I think it read a bit lower than the Apogee or a bit higher. I forget which way it was, but it was close anyway.
I think it's about 10% higher than an Apogee.
There you go. But it was pretty consistent anyway. The only thing is I wish they put a Bluetooth because it connects to your phone, which is fantastic. But I wish it was Bluetooth so you don't have a cable dangling about. That'd be so much better.
Yeah. But so slight tangent here, but I made a little Arduino display that would do like my YouTube statistics.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought this is great, and I 3D printed a little East Coast Reefer logo, and I got a friend of mine to encase it in resin so it'd be waterproof. Brilliant. Had it on my desk, worked perfectly. Put it in my tank, just stopped working immediately because radio waves don't penetrate water.
Oh, interesting.
So you'd be no good being Bluetooth.
Right. Oh, well, there you go. I'll shut up. Then.
Unless you had like a Bluetooth aerial on a float.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it just wouldn't work.
Oh, well, there you go. Cool. So you need the cable. Fair enough. There you go. All right,
Yeah.
I'll shut up. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's good to know. But there you go. So Parwise Pro, and it's not that's a reasonable because that's a bar meter you can trust. It's not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
The next one. This is really exciting. GHL Doser 3rd generation.
Can't say I know much about
No.
Silence.
Yeah.
There were. So this is. I didn't look at this properly, but Ryan and I talked about this a while ago, and the upgrades were pretty incremental. I can't remember what they were. There was nothing groundbreaking. To be fair, I had a GHL 2, I think it was Doser. It was really good. Software is not brilliant, to put it mildly. But the hardware as a Doser, it was amazing. So I'm sure this will be hardware wise very good.
I feel like Doser is one of those things you want good software on, though. Like the Red Seas, for example,
you use it often, don't you?
Very easy to tinker with. The amount you're dosing and stuff. I think that's quite an important thing.
Now and then I hear people say they don't like the Red Sea app. They don't find it very intuitive. I think it's really easy to use. Is that your experience?
Yeah. Haven't they got a massive facelift coming as well with the reef control stuff? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because that's got to do a lot more stuff, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't like change. Don't change it.
It looks more like aesthetic changes than much else. But yeah, I quite like the Red Sea app, and so much so that if Red Sea go down the route of doing a multi-element tester, which I don't think they're going to do, I would be tempted to replace my Apex and Trident with it.
Really?
I think Red Sea are probably going to go down the route of testing calcium only, because they have the Red Sea 4 part, which is based on your calcium uptake.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think they'll probably more go down that route, but it would be interesting.
Because no one's managed to make an accurate calcium tester. Actually, I don't know what the Trident's like, but from what I hear, it's a bit hit and miss.
It's good if you use reagents from Marine Spec.
marine-spec.co.uk.
Yeah.
ABC, which are also much cheaper.
Yeah, and all joking aside, I think that was a big point for me. Was actually, I think the aftermarket reagents work better. I don't know whether I just had like a really bad batch of genuine reagents, but I was getting all sorts of inconsistencies with reading and everything. And when I moved over to ABC, which, disclaimer here, I didn't actually buy from Harry. It was before Harry started doing it. I bought it myself from America and mixed them. I found them way better. Yeah.
So I had the guy Jonas Buser is his name from AB who set that up company.
Oh, you had him on, didn't you, a while
ago? And I think he said something like that, or someone in the chat was saying that they found that, and he was saying, yeah, it should be. So
there's a reason why, yeah.
There you go. So you can buy it. So there you go. So if you want reagents for your Neptune Trident, you can get them much cheaper from Harry, marine-spec.co.uk, all the way from via America. And he's a clever bloke, though. He's a proper scientist.
Jonas is great. If there's ever not like a question that I can't answer, because obviously selling a lot of these, you get some quite complex kind of questions and queries. And one of them the other day was someone was using some A reagent from Neptune, and they wanted to use some of my B and C. And a question like that, it's so helpful that Jonas is so helpful to be able to say to him, here's what I think about this. What's your thoughts? And he's so responsive, and he will be to others as well. And I think it makes all the difference.
He seems a really friendly, just a nice bloke.
Yeah,
which really matters, doesn't it? I mean,
it's definitely kind of for the people.
Yeah, completely. And someone's asked a question and said, would you buy Steve Alex? Would you buy? Yeah, not you, Harry. Shut up for a second. What if Hydros came to the UK? Would you swap over? I'm currently boycotting Hydros. I refuse to buy any of their products because they're not available in the UK. But when they are, I will be all over it like a cheap suit.
I'd be interested in it. I think the apex feels very dated, and that's why I got
Yes.
quite excited with Reef Control.
Yeah.
The interface, the programming language, it all feels very much like they did it 15, 20 years ago, and they haven't done anything with it apart from just make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, and I don't know whether, you know, Hydros coming over or more likely Red Sea will push their innovation a bit more, which I think will be good.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm hoping that's going to be a bit of a trend for next year's and after that, because we are seeing more competition and things in the space, which is great to see. And as you say, Steve, it certainly is. Certainly, like using the app and stuff, is a little bit dated, and having to manually code, if you like, different things. You know, there are tasks and whatever, but yeah, if you're opening the app for the first time, it's certainly not intuitive, and there's certainly a learning curve. And I think they could get a team in and really do some good things with that.
Yeah. I say I'd be all over it. I don't actually know anything about it. Because what I've heard is it's easier to use than Neptune, and is still reasonable quality, but it looks good.
The Neptune has got reliability, and it's very widely known and talked about. And if you've got a question or a problem or an issue, you're likely going to get it solved. And of course, there's so many forums and so many people that have tried and will help you. So it's definitely got that going for it. And I think if you want reliability off the bat, it's definitely a top contender at the moment.
All righty, but there we go. I can't remember how we got onto that. But we need to speed up a little bit because we've gone past 2 hours. Two last products on the Mastertronic Essentials. Which is I should have looked this up. It's like the Mastertronic, but I think it tests one thing less, but it will test calcium alkalinity, magnesium,
and one of the
nitrate phosphate. I think it will test all of those. And it does like other things, like it measures how clear your water clarity, all that sort of stuff. I think it's around 1,200 quid. I haven't really seen that take off very much, which I'm surprised at, because on the face of it, one piece of equipment that tests everything but apart from salinity, sign me up.
Yes,
I can just
absolutely.
I can enjoy the tank for once. So
yeah.
But anyway, and the final thing is the Tunzi Orca. You seen those, which is the rotating power head?
Oh yes, yeah.
So I'm including that because the Ocean Sea Wave, which is the one that you can get in the UK, that was brought out last year, so not this year. And the Tunzi Orca isn't available in the UK, but it is available in the US, Europe, and Australia.
Yeah,
it's got carbon fiber rods, and carbon fiber sexy. So I'm going to run down this list again, and you got to tell me. There was one that the Spectrum. You got to tell me which you think is the winner, and I'll go to each of you, and then we'll see if we've got a consensus. So the TMC First Wave 78, the Red Sea Gen 3 tank, the Cade Gen 3 tank, the Red Sea Reefled Gen 2, the AI Hydra Edge, the Parwise Pro, the GHL Doser 3, the Mastertronic Essentials, the Tunzi Orca, and the DD Spectrum Light.
Okay.
Is there anything that jumps out at you, or is it all a bit like,
I would say yes, for the most part. It is a bit, they're all incremental, or most of them are incremental upgrades and things like that. But the one that stands out to me because of the price is the DD Lite. I think our hobby is very expensive. In fact, no, I don't think that is a fact. This hobby is very expensive, and I would love to see our hobby grow. Our hobby has been really important to me, and therefore everything that has kind of come of it. And I would love to see more people getting into the hobby. And I think entry-level equipment, not to say it's bad, I don't know, I've never used the Light and I've never seen it in person, so take that as you will. What I mean is more affordable equipment, I think is a good step towards a future where reefing is more attainable to people.
I'm
So
not
that'd
sure
be
they
my
won't
choice.
be expecting to make the best light in the world that grows
Yeah.
your corals faster than anything else, but it will grow corals. You can tell,
Yeah.
I can tell you that now, and it will do a good job. It'll make your tank look cool, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not as if they're bad looking as well. You know, they're
nice
a decent looking night. Yeah.
Happy days. All right, Steve, do you concur or do you take a different view?
I wrote down 3 different things, and they all got written down for the same reason as Harry just mentioned. They are making reefing more accessible and cheaper.
Excellent.
The DD Spectrum Lite.
Yeah.
The Parwise Pro.
Okay.
For your because it's brought down the price of that, decent quality
Yeah, this is true.
light analyzer, if you like, and the TMC 78. I know TMC aren't the most popular brand in the world, but I think for people starting out,
I'd agree.
to be able to take that first step in the hobby, I think it's really important to have something affordable that will tick like 90% of the boxes to get them in and going, and then they can gradually upgrade things as they go on. They can upgrade the light. Maybe they upgrade the light to a D&D Spectrum. But it's just to get them in and get them up and running, and then they can do some upgrades gradually. So
yeah, they're not the high end quality. If you put a TMC 78 next to a Red Sea Reefer S850, for example, one costs £5,000, one costs £300. Won't surprise you that the TMC one isn't as nice quality. But they're totally fine, and beginners, awesome to get in with most of the equipment you need. So I like that. But we have a consensus winner, the DD Spectrum LED. It wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
Because I forgot.
There you go.
So congratulations, DD. Steve's going to 3D print a trophy. So a life-size 6-foot trophy. Thanks for that, Steve.
100% not a problem.
Thanks, appreciate that.
It won't be phallic shaped at all.
Oh dear. That's the kind of message you're trying to send, but okay. On that note, Steve, thanks for that. We're going to end. Thank you both for joining. It's been great fun. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great chatting to you both. And
thank you for having us.
Lovely. And everybody in the chat, I will be back next week with what they call Reefing Radio. Reefing Radio.
Oh, okay.
You guys listen to that podcast?
Yeah.
I haven't yet. I'll be honest. I is it Chris? It's one of them, Chris.
Yeah,
he sat right behind me at Coral Freaks. And I keep meaning to look him up and have a listen.
Well, you'll hear from him and the others next week. So there we go. Right.
Excellent.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Take care, all.
See ya. Bye.